So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first in our series of bests and worsts. Yep, we're going to be giving you a few teasers the upcoming few weeks, and plus trying to utilise our time with the rarity that we haven't got pay-per-views taking up a lot of our time.
No pay.
So, it's also teasing towards an upcoming collaboration we're going to be doing with the gentleman over at the Palace of Wisdom.
Is he a gentleman?
Oh, he's very gentlemanly.
That's good. That's good enough for me.
And a damn impressive beard.
I had a beard once.
Yeah, it didn't go down too well.
It didn't go down well with anyone.
Yeah. So, I think the running thing for that will be worst theme songs. I think we're going to primarily try and stick it to WWE, but there may be the occasional crossover from the other companies over the years as well. So, we've been logging some ideas about in our heads, and we've decided we're gonna go with some of the worst storylines ever told.
This isn't just WWE related. This is the entire spectrum of wrestling. So it could be TNA, it could be WCW, it could be ECW.
There's going to be a fair amount of WCW. They had Vince Russo after all.
But we're going for 10 at the moment. We might have plans for 10 more. This might just be worst of part 1.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes. And
so number 10. What have you got? Well,
I don't know if we'll give it sort of a particular order.
This is not going from best to worst. This is just...
Yeah. Screw it. You mentioned TNA. Let's go for it. I know you were looking forward to this one. Right, let's go with Samoa Joe getting abducted by a group of ninjas.
He lost a match on Impact one week. I don't know why. And then randomly when he was walking off, he got interviewed. And for some unknown reason, a transit van full of ninjas came and abducted him for reasons we still don't know.
What are the point of how did they even get in the building? I mean, where was security?
Exactly. It made no sense. It was... Well, the week after should tell you how they treated this storyline. He was back with no explanation whatsoever. The only difference was he had a black tattoo on his face.
Yeah.
And the ninjas were never mentioned again.
No. So, good job, TNA. You have someone abducted by a group of ninjas, and then next week just carry on as if nothing's even happened at all.
No. Good job.
Now, was this... I didn't really watch any of this, I have to be honest, but...
number 9.
Was it pre-Dixie Carter, or was that for one Dixie Carter era?
That was Dixie Carter. It was about 2009, 2010.
Fair.
I think it was.
Fair enough. Ooh. Right, well, I suppose we'll go with WWE one to kick things off. Let's go with the bit of fun we had in the mid to late 90s in WWE.
Oh no.
Let's go with the epic rivalry that was Val Venus versus Kai and Tai. Now, trying to remember now off the top of my head, who was in Kai and Tai?
There were loads of them.
Obviously, it was Funaki, was Taka,
yeah.
And Mr. Fuji? Apart.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember they did have a manager, but I can't remember if it was Mr. Fuji or someone else.
No, I don't think it was Mr. Fuji. I think it was another Japanese guy.
Yeah, and then there were a few other random people.
Yeah, the original Kai and Tai was like 7 guys and a woman, and Val Venus had like slept with the woman.
Yes, I was trying to think. Yeah, was she like the wife or the daughter of the manager?
Yeah,
I think
like the wife of the manager.
I'm gonna have to try and look this one up and try and find all the members quickly.
I don't even remember why they were fighting. What I can remember is that, I don't know, the woman was in a porno with him.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah. Val Venus filmed him having sex with the woman.
Oh, God.
Right, according to our wonderful friends at Wikipedia, you had, I'm presuming this may have been the female, Shiryu.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Next one's very Japanese sounding. Dick Togo.
Big toe. Oh, my God.
Oh, geez. And then we've got Men's Tio. And then they were joined by Sho Funaki and Taka Michinoku, and the group were managed by a man called Yamaguchi-san.
Yamaguchi-san, that's the one. He was the bald dude with the mustache.
Yes. So, yeah, this happened, and yeah, it all transpired and got out of control very quickly. Obviously, it carried on going for a little while longer. The female wrestler in the group wanted to be with Val Venus, and all the guys in Kaientai were full on against it. And unfortunately, it got to the rather outrageous situation where they kidnapped Val Venus.
Oh my God.
And in their own words, chop Mr. PP.
Yeah, I mean, all you saw was this camera crew running backstage, running into the locker room, and Val Venus was like chained up to the ceiling.
Butt naked with his drawers down.
And then this Yamaguchi-san gets a sword.
Yeah, proper samurai sword. Aye! And then saw everyone just saw like shut away. Oh my God. Ah.
Yeah, it just cut to black. We didn't actually know what happened.
No.
I don't think it was referenced again.
Yeah, again, because it was one of them weird ones, because then try not to put too much of a time scale on it, but then you had a year or two later, I think it was, you had Val Venus feuding with Ken Shamrock, because he was going out with his sister, Ryan, who I think conveniently they were a couple in real life.
Yes.
Val and Ryan.
Yeah, I think he was involved in another storyline a couple of years later where someone was pregnant and he said it couldn't have been him because of what happened with the sword.
Yeah.
And that was the only time it was ever mentioned, I think.
Yeah, so, that's another great one.
Right. So, moving swiftly on to number 8. And I've got a good one for you here. This was the mid-2000s. And Vince McMahon revealed he had a bastard son.
Oh my God.
All throughout the weeks. It was narrowing it down. Who was it going to be? It was teased it might have been Triple H.
Yeah, they were trying to heavily tease it was Triple H, and obviously then that would be the whole, oh great, he's already your son-in-law anyway. Sort of thing.
And as the weeks were going on and then the contenders were narrowed it down, it got down to Triple H and, oh God, I even dread to say this, Hornswoggle.
We've seen that guy wrestle.
Well, you have.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, you weren't in attendance that night.
So yeah, all those months and months of storyline, and it was revealed to be Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
So they had a bit of fun with that, and then, I don't know, for some strange reason, it was revealed it wasn't Hornswoggle, because Hornswoggle was Finley's son.
Right.
So it sort of went a bit nowhere in the end.
Yeah.
But later we found out that the son was originally supposed to be Mr. Kennedy. Hence the name Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah, wasn't that the time around when they let him go from the company?
I think he was injured. One of his injuries.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Just died a quick, painful death, and they quickly all forgot about it.
Yeah,
And
quickly swept that one under the carpet.
and so should you. You should forget that ever happened.
I would like to. So, moving on to number 7.
I'll pick another one as I'll pick the first two.
Okay, we're gonna go for something from the early 1990s. A little bit of humour here. A certain commentator had been fired by the WWE, but he wasn't happy. He came back. We're talking heel JR.
Oh my god. Oh, where do we start with this one? This was just absolute pure comedy gold. Yeah, as you stated, JR had been fired by the WWE and he wanted to stick it to the company. And he went on a massive tirade about how WrestleMania 9,
Yeah.
he's made to wear a toga because they were going for the Greek Roman look and that, because that was the first WrestleMania with an open roof arena. Yeah, so he went on a nice tirade about that and saying, I left the Atlanta Falcons as a color commentator to come here and wear a toga. It's crap.
It was like, and it didn't work because they wanted him to be booed, but everyone was cheering when JR was ranting about all this stuff.
Yeah, and then if things couldn't get any more better, he then brought back Razor Ramon.
Yeah, this was shortly after the real Razor and Diesel had left for WCW. So they brought in a couple of fake guys dressed as Razor and Diesel.
Couldn't think it was Diesel.
Oh boy.
Big red.
It didn't last long.
No.
It was another one where these two guys, I think they were already on TV for a couple of weeks, and they, I think WCW couldn't do anything. That's not the one. They quickly forgot about trying to make JR a heel. It didn't work, and he was quickly put back behind the announce table.
Yeah.
And no mention was made of it again.
Yes. Would he have been... I was technically commentating with Vince, or would he have been with King?
I think King was there as well. It was a three-man booth at the time.
Geez, that's going back some Vince commentating.
Yeah, you did it. So another awful one. Now we're moving on to number 6.
Ooh. Right. Let's go with... trying to think of WCW one we mentioned.
There's a few. They've all been pretty awful.
Let's go with the... not trying to single out a particular match here, but let's go with the ridiculous Vince Russo matchmaking options.
Oh god.
I'll give you a couple of classic examples. You had Viagra on a pole match.
Oh god.
And you had Judy Bagwell on a forklift.
Christ, what kind of man brings in Buff Bagwell's mother and puts her on a forklift?
Exactly.
Admittedly, I wasn't watching WCW at the time, so I probably missed most of these ideas.
No, but we're just saying them. It's just so ridiculous. I mean, who in their right mind thinks that works? Because I'm trying to think who the Viagra on a pole match was between.
Oh, I can't. I'll look it up.
Cause it was for one of the female wrestlers in at the time there. I want to... No, she would have still been in WCW at that point. I was going to say, it wasn't Tommy Dream, his wife, was it?
No, it was in WCW. You're thinking of Beulah.
Yeah.
She was firmly in ECW at the time.
That was it. It was between Billy Kidman and Shane Douglas over Tori Wilson.
Oh, well.
Who, in fact, was Billy Kidman's wife.
Oh, yeah. We forget that.
Yeah, so... yeah, great one, Vince Russo. Fantastic.
That's terrible.
Let's get two guys to fight it out, and whoever wins gets to shag Tori Wilson.
That reminds me of the indecent proposal match in 2003. Jamie Noble and Billy Gunn.
Oh,
And if Jamie Noble won, he had Tori's services for a night.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think Nydia went too much on it.
We will go more in detail on that on another list, but
Yeah.
we're going to move on swiftly to number 5. And another awful WCW gimmick was the mid-1990s. I can't remember who he was fighting, but Sting was locked in a cage. And who came out to save him? RoboCop. That's right, folks. In full armor, the actor playing RoboCop came out and bent the bars of the steel cage, which,
I'm sure he really bent them.
yeah, it looked like they were made out of rubber.
Yeah.
It was pretty embarrassing. And just the announcers trying to hype it up. Oh my God, RoboCop! And it was like, just awful.
How much did they pay that actor to come in and do that one segment?
It was probably a lot. They were paying everyone ridiculous money back then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the time they were probably trying to rival WWE because they brought in Mike Tyson for WrestleMania because was it around the same time or just after they bloody brought in Dennis Rodman?
Oh yeah, Dennis Rodman joining the NWO.
And
Terrible.
didn't they then get another basketball player in to like rival him or
Yeah,
whatever?
they did. It was like one on each team.
Yeah, because he teamed up with DDP, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
So moving on to number.
That's just reminded me as well quickly as well. Do you remember when TNA done that quite a few years back?
I don't remember this one.
Yeah, TNA. I think it was probably. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think it might have been about 2006, 2007 season. Adam Pac-Man Jones
God. Yeah.
had been banned by the NFL for playing for the season for, I believe it was due to substance abuse. He was a cornerback for the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe, at the time. And yeah, so TNA decided to bring him in, and I believe he teamed up with K Quick.
Oh God. You mean Ron Killings?
Yeah, Ron Killings in TNA, yeah.
Oh,
Truth.
that was probably in the days of the 3 Live crew.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, just thought I'd randomly chuck that one in there as we was talking about sportsmen. And
So moving on to number 4.
take it back to WWE. Let's go with I think this was possibly how they brought him into the company. We're talking about none other than the Undertaker's wife's stalker, DDP.
You see, this was mid-2001, right before King of the Ring, so that's just slightly before the invasion started. You had all these videos of someone stalking the Undertaker's wife.
It was really creepy, like following around that. Undertaker, I like the look of your wife, Undertaker.
Yeah.
She's sexy.
There was like videos of her in the shower.
Really just creepy graphic stuff.
Yeah, some dark stuff in that. And it said he was going to be revealing himself at King of the Ring that year.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the Undertaker was ready to break the building down by this point. Yeah. We then found it out to be none other than Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
The man who just recently went into the Hall of Fame.
He won't want to be reminded of this. So, yeah, and this is DDP, who was pretty much like a 4 or 5 time WCW champion at that point.
Yeah.
And he proceeded to have the next 3 months just getting his ass kicked by the Undertaker week in, week out.
Pretty much. Until he decided he wasn't interested in the Undertaker's wife anymore.
You know what ended it? What finally ended that rivalry? they had a match between DDP and The Undertaker's wife.
Oh, jeez, yeah, I forgot about that.
And The Undertaker's wife beat DDP. Like I say, a 5 or 6 time WCW champion. Lost to a woman.
Who, I don't think she even had any wrestling background of any sort.
No. None whatsoever. So I don't think DDP even lasted for that much longer. I think he was in it for another year and then quickly let go.
Yeah. Pretty sure didn't he turn up at TNA at some point?
Probably. Everyone did. So, moving on to number 3. And this is another example of excellent booking by our chairman. Mid to late 2000s, the death of Vince McMahon.
Oh, jeez.
We're still trying to work this one out. He was starting to lose the plot a bit. And he randomly left the building, got into a limo, and the limo blew up.
I remember that.
And for the next couple of weeks, there was like tribute videos to him.
Yeah.
There was interviews with people.
Yeah.
And then it started, okay, now we're getting an investigation on who killed Vince McMahon.
At this point, you're there going, yeah, okay, this is a while.
Like they had brought people in
ridiculous.
to pretend to be phony FBI people,
Yeah.
investigating it, like interviewing all different people. And then unfortunately, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks after they started this, the unfortunate Chris Benoit tragedy happened.
Yeah, and then they dropped the
Yeah.
story altogether.
The whole storyline was abandoned and Vince just came back.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, well, that was the end of the story.
Yeah.
And then it was never spoken of again. I mean, the clip of the limo blowing up has been used about 7 or 8 times since. And
Classic writing right there.
it's sort of been revealed now that the whole reason for that storyline was Vince wanted to be wrote off TV permanently.
Yeah. Handing the power over.
But it never quite worked out that way.
And he's still involved to this day.
Yes. Oh, how different things would have been. So, we got 2 more left.
Wow. The one I'm gonna pick for you
Uh-oh.
is gonna shock the world.
Oh, no.
I'm talking about none other than the Shock Master.
All right. Lord Shockmaster. I told you. Oh, God.
Now, anyone that's been following wrestling for the last 20 years or so will know exactly what I'm talking about here. You can even go on the WWE Network and there is an actual sit-down conversation where I think it's Dusty Rhodes, Michael Hayes, Mick Foley, JR, and I think possibly someone else was there. It might have been Mean Gene.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And they were all discussing about silly storylines and whatnot, like what we're doing now, and Dusty was discussing more in depth about the Shockmaster. Now, of course, the man behind it was Tugboat. Uncle Fred to Cody Rhodes.
Fred Altman.
Yeah. He was the unfortunate man who had to wear this ridiculous outfit. It was basically a stormtrooper's helmet spray painted with silver glitter.
Yeah, glitter paint.
And then
A weird waistcoat.
yeah.
Furry waistcoat.
Yeah, that's right. And it later got revealed that the I think it was the main interview for WCW sabotaged this this one because of he just thought it was plain ridiculous, and he put a 2x4 where he was going to be bursting through, so the flames and all that have gone off. This was how great this segment was. It was on an episode of
It was called A Flare for the Gold.
Flair for Gold, yeah. And you don't notice it until you actually concentrate on it, but Ric Flair was hosting it,
Yeah.
and by the time the Shockmaster come out, there was just a cardboard cutout of Ric Flair. That's how interested he was in being in this storyline.
You can even see him walk away. In fact, if you slow it down, you can see the bit where Ric Flair leaves and the cardboard cutout like wheels in.
Yeah, this was leading towards the full brawl.
Yeah.
And it was the British Bulldog, Sting, and the Shockmaster against, I believe it was Harlem Heat and Sid Vicious. Yeah.
And Sid, bless him, he tried saving this thing.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn who you are, boy.
Unfortunately, you then have Booker T in the background going, "Oh God." and then very politely, in the only way Booker can, "Who is this motherfucker?"
And then we get Davey Boy. Right, you can recognise by saying he fell on his ass. Oh, it didn't work.
No, it was awful, absolutely awful. And you had, was it Ole Anderson doing the voiceover?
Yeah. Ole Anderson.
He was doing the Shockmaster's voice.
I mean, a little while after that, they brought the Shockmaster back and just like said he was just a clumsy, goofy guy. And the commentators used to just make jokes on him.
And then, of course, he made an appearance on WWE television.
Well,
many years later.
Sort of.
It was a gag backstage with DX, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H talking about him. And John said, "I don't know. I don't remember the Shockmaster.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about." And then the Shockmaster appeared. But it turned out to be Santino Marella. And then he looked at Dusty, and Dusty said, "It should have worked." And then Santino said, "I know. I love the Shockmaster."
What was great was Arn Anderson doing the voice.
Yeah.
And Triple H's epic line of, "Holy Toledo."
Oh, dear Lord.
And then even a couple of years after that, they did another segment where I think it was Becky Lynch exploring the warehouse, and she finds the Shockmaster's helmet. And just the Shockmaster randomly appears. So even to this day, he's, unfortunately for him, that's what he's known for.
Yeah. Right, so what are we going to close this one on?
Number one. Well, I'm going to do something you said, which was completely wrong at the time, is still wrong today, and even I still struggle to understand why they did it.
Oh dear. Oh, I know where you're going with this.
This was 2002, leading to a champion v champion match, Kane v Triple H.
Yeah. Things got ugly very quickly in this
We are
one.
talking about Katie Vick.
Oh, jeez. The case of Katie Vick.
Now, for some unknown reason, like for the weeks leading up to that match, Triple H was saying, "Oh yeah, years ago Kane was involved with a girl, and he got her drunk at a party, and I think there was a car crash.
Yeah.
Because he was drunk and he crashed his car.
Yeah.
And the whole storyline was, you killed Katie Vick." And then the next part is just...
Yeah. Trying to keep it as... clean or less graphic, shall we say. Triple H then basically went on to further insinuate that there was necrophilia involved.
It was like a segment backstage with Triple H dressed as Kane in like a funeral parlour.
Yeah.
And it can only be described as, well, necrophilia, essentially.
He proceeded to then climb into the coffin and have sex with the corpse. Oh, God. Where the hell they get these ideas from, I do not know.
I reckon that was one of Vince's. He's known for some pretty sick stuff.
So, yeah. Very, very wrong storyline.
I mean, at the time, Kane was relatively, still quite monsterish. Still had quite a scary aura about him.
Yeah, he hadn't taken the mask off at this point.
No.
He was still the big red machine.
And it was kind of like, right, so... And Kane didn't help by practically admitting to getting a drunk, crashing the car, and there might have been drugs involved.
Yeah.
It was a weird storyline.
Great big mess.
It got referenced one time in the anger management segments.
Oh. Dr. Shelby.
They were talking about, Kane was talking about his life, and his one line was, "Oh, I had a girlfriend called Katie, but we don't talk about her anymore."
Oh.
And he was talking about tombstoning priests and electrocuting a man's testicles, setting a couple of commentators on fire. And just listening to that, you're like, they have made Kane do some pretty messed up stuff.
Yeah, just a tad.
But nothing tops the Katie Vick one.
No, as far as Kane's concerned, yeah, that beats it all.
I mean, it kind of helped that as soon as the match was over, they pretty much abandoned the Kane Triple H rivalry. And that was the last anyone heard of it for a very long time.
Yeah. Which we're very thankful for.
Yeah, unfortunately enough, in this PG environment, they will never try anything like that again.
No. Hopefully they never will.
We can but hope.
Yeah. So, I think that about wraps it up for us at this point in time.
Yeah, that was 10 of the worst storylines. Keep listening on, we got plenty more shows planned, we got our worst themes.
Yep.
As you mentioned, there's worst characters going up.
Yeah.
Plenty more stuff on this best and worst list.
Yeah. So, hope you like it, and we'll have more for you in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, make sure to hit that bell.
So you get instant notifications on when we're posting stuff, and when we do the occasional live streaming.
Yeah. Because it really messed up last time. No one got notified and no one bothered turning up.
No.
Which we only found out about after it had finished.
Yeah. So.
Okay, from your hosts, the Master of the Brain Damage,
Martin.
and the one and only Sam H. We will see you on the next one.
Adios.